What to do if a client refuses to pay for the services? So this is something I've kind of went over a little bit in the past. And the best way to negate this so you don't even get to this problem is by being proactive and not reactive. But when things like this happen, what do you do after the fact? Let's say that you were proactive. So there's two different ways. If you were proactive, it's a lot easier to withhold stuff. If you're reactive, good luck getting that money back. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with y'all. Good luck, because clients are just like, times are a little bit harder nowadays. Times are a little bit harder, so people are trying to hold on to money, and unfortunately, people like to be dishonest. But anyways, this is what reactive looks like. Reactive looks like having no service agreement, no contracts, no sort of contracts. Being reactive looks like waiting to charge. Being reactive looks like for example, not even having an account number. You don't always have to do this one, and I'll go more into it. Reactive looks like that's basically the ones off the top of my head. And just to dive into this, so you have being proactive and reactive to the situation. If you're reactive within your notary business, you'll have a service agreement out the gate. This service agreement is really just going to let you know and let the client know what the terms and conditions of this transaction and or deal is. So they're going to know off rip, if they even read it, that if they cancel and it's on them, then you get paid. If you cancel and it's on you, you're going to give them back a full refund, and the gist of things. But that service agreement basically lays out the foundation between you guys. Your service agreement and contract go hand in hand. Depends on what you want to call it, and just being fancy. It's the same thing. So it's like having a sheet of paper that says like, okay, I know that before I pay this person, these are all his terms and conditions. It's kind of like avoiding problems before they happen. And that's why I always say, like, even in my business, I was just BSing around, and I had one, but then I gave my service agreement after the fact, which wasn't smart. So anyways, don't do that. Have your service agreement before you work with these people, and put all the little things that you're scared of, like if they refuse to pay, all that stuff within that service agreement. And you could get petty with this too if you want to. But anyways, when you have that and they break the terms of the service agreement and you are reactive and you don't have a service agreement, there's almost nothing you can do. You can ask them to give a lesser payment, or you can try to sympathize with them and let them know, like, hey, I drove out to the location. I do charge a travel fee of, you might even want to say something low, like $20 or like $10. Can you please send that? But if they say no, what you gonna do? Take them to court for $50? I mean, you can, but your time would be better spent putting into other marketing material, resources, and time that can bring you back more money. So that's why I said being reactive kind of sucks in that sense, because there's only so much you can do unless you go find their business page out and then leave them a bad review and stuff like that. But that's just being petty. So no service agreement, no contract. That's what happens. If you're waiting to charge card, if you wait to charge the card, like if you don't charge ahead of time before you go into the appointment, you're being reactive. Why? Because now you don't have the money in your hand. And like I said in my other video, you guys need to check out my other video when I was talking about this. I think it was the one with when to charge clients or something like that. It's one of the videos. Just binge watch my videos. You'll find it. Trust me, you'll get some good game. But if you're being reactive and you're waiting to charge your client, in the event that something does happen, right? In the event that anything happens, the client's parents die, or, they cancel when you're at their front door, whatever happens, now you're at their mercy. You see what I'm saying? Because the money is not in your hand. The money is not in your hand. So it's like, you have to hope that they want to just give you money from the kindness of their heart because you waited to charge. And just another one, which is like, I haven't started doing this, but this is even something I was thinking about doing too, is just having the client's account number. Because if you have the account number and they go against the terms of the condition, your service agreement or your contract, then you can charge. Excuse me, yo. Then you can charge them. You can charge the account because you have their account number, and you're doing the right thing because it wasn't your service agreement. So that's another thing you do. But on the other hand, Being proactive is where you need to be ahead of time. So I like to tell you guys what to do before the problems come up as much as possible. So you do have a service agreement. You do have a contract. Let me just make this a slash. Now let me make it like this. It makes it look bigger. You charge up front, and you have or you have their account number. When you have stuff like this, if anything happens, the first thing you need to really start off with is this, to keep it 100 with y'all. When you do charge up front, now all the power is in your hand. Straight like that. The power's in your hand. So if something happens and they cancel last minute, you have the power to refund them if you want, or you could refund them 75% or 25% or 50%. But now it's up to you. You actually have the choice on what to do. When it's in their hand, you think they're going to pay you? They're just going to ignore your calls or block you and probably still leave you a bad review. Customers can be crazy. So charge it up front so you can choose how the situation is going to play out. So now, if you charge up front after they accept that service agreement, you have the money, and if the contract says that they get no money back for canceling like an hour before the appointment, you don't have to give them anything back. Now, if you want to give them like 50% back out of the kindness of your heart, you can. But if in the event of anything, let's say you guys go to court or whatever. I'm not a lawyer. This is not educational. This is only entertainment purposes only. Whatever. I have to say that. Then I would believe your chances would be better because now you have a service agreement or a contract in place that said that, hey, if this happens, then that. And like I said, the last thing I would say is the account number. With that account number, if you're charging them, if you accept their account number rather than like their Zelle or their Venmo, Cash App, Square, you're able to charge them. When I had a business in the past, I didn't take people's account number and I was charging a much higher ticket. And I wish I did it because some people just ran away with the money and wouldn't pay. But had you have had their account number and a contract that you guys believed on, you guys both agreed to, then it's like you can hit that card because it's like, yo, I let you know you signed off on this before you paid, and then after that, you still took the initiative to pay me. So I'm going to charge you because you broke our service agreement, and it's clearly stated that in there. But that's what I do if a client refuses to pay for the notary services. There's not much to answer this question even more like specifically. You could try to ask for discounted rates. Oh my gosh, can't write with this mouse. Anyways, you could ask for a discounted rate, or at that point, you could really just. I don't even want to tell you guys to threaten to sue. Honestly, your best bet is asking for a discounted rate or just using kindness. Like, hey, is there any way that you could do this, this, and that for me? Because, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like kiss up a little bit. That's really it. Because I wouldn't even tell you guys to waste your time like trying to sue or anything. So you kind of do have to kiss up, be nice, appeal to their emotions. Hey, I really thought I was going to get paid because I did take the time and I canceled another appointment to come here. Especially if you let them know that, they'll be more willingly or more inclined to do it. But that's what I mean. Like, you see how you're kind of like begging, like, hey, can I please have $1 for doing my job? Like, what? I'll be damned. Imagine you drove an hour out there for the clients to do the job, and then they don't want to pay you. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's just a waste of time. And you did your job. You notarized that paper, and now they don't want to pay you. That's why you need to have something in there. Let them know that you're going to keep the money. But if you're being reactive, there is no money to keep. And there's only so much you could do. So you could try to do a discounted rate. You can try to do it out of kindness. You could try to offer another service in there. Like say, hey, can you pay? I'll even give you a buy one, get one free. So off your next notary service, you'll get it for half off. Or for your next notary service, you'll get it for free. But when you do this, when you do stuff like that, you're in the begging phase. Like, you're being reactive. Reactive is begging. Here is kind of like demanding and letting them know what's going on. So don't be like that. Don't be in there. But anyways, that's what I would do. That's what I would do if a client refuses to pay for notary services. I would just try to get them to pay at least a discounted rate. I would try to appeal to kindness and like, hey, you know, can you do this because this isn't this, or I'd offer them like a buy one get one free. But before you even get here, if you don't even have any clients right now, or you just had a few clients, the better thing to do is make sure you're not doing this. At least do these. Very least do this. At very least do that, because that is going to allow you to actually protect yourself in the event that something goes wrong, and it just avoids a lot of BS. But anyways, if you guys want more videos, go ahead and put in the comments below. If you need a template for a service agreement, I might share mine with you guys. Just say like service agreement or something down below. And if you want to do a one-on-one where we go more in depth with your business, go ahead and click on a book a call down below. There's a free notary starter kit if you want to use that to help you get started. And there's a master notary bundle, which isn't free, but very affordable. We can get the phone scripts I use, the email scripts I use, and the list of 300 signing services that you can sign up with. That'll give you income in the background, just paying you out for doing the marketing for you in a way, literally. So anyways, go ahead and click on those. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Peace, love, and your boy Knowledge is out.